In 2001, Nintendo and producer Takashi Tezuka released Animal Crossing to the Japanese market. The game was revolutionary for its calming simplicity, with the main focus on fishing and bug catching instead of the fast-paced action adventures at the time, such as Super Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion. But what is it about this series that made it not just stand out from the crowd, but continue to live in fans' hearts for over 19 years? Well, find out as we delve deeper. Delve Deeper is an independent YouTube series funded in part by viewers like you. By subscribing to the channel, you allow for the continued creation of Delve Deeper, as well as other series here on the Diamond Eyeball channel. If you would like to continue to support the channel even further, you can buy apparel at the Deb's Diamonds merch store. Animal Crossing was originally released for the Nintendo 64 as a Japan exclusive named Dobutsu no Mori, or Animal Forest. The game is a calm life sim where the player moves into a new town via the train. They're introduced to a cat named Rover, who asks them creepily stalkerish questions like your date of birth, reason for coming here, and your social security number. You know, normal train talk. This conversation may seem dumb to many players, but this is actually the deciding factor in the player's appearance. Upon arrival, the player is introduced to many villagers, with the most important being Tom Nook, the owner of the local junction. Tom Nook is the main person you will be buying items from, as Sonic the Hedgehog only sells clothing. The game essentially revolves around the player gathering materials by fruit picking, fishing, bug catching, and shell collecting. All of these things can be sold for bells, the in-game currency, which can be used to buy furniture, spiffy clothing, or pay off your debt to Tom Nook, the only person you can buy a house from in this game. But who needs one of those? My one room is good enough for me and my 17 gyroids. Many people question what makes this game stand out, but the answer may come as a shock. Animal Crossing stands out not for having any feature that separates it from any other game. It has fishing, just like in Stardew Valley, and fruit picking, just like in Harvest Moon. Other than the fact that they're animals, it's not much different than these other games. And that's the point. Animal Crossing isn't a game you sit down and play for hours at a time. Okay, most of us do. But it is intended to be a game that you can pick up and play at any time you please. It doesn't matter if you only have 20 minutes or 5 hours. It's still fun to just check up on your villagers, collect the post, and go gather up today's seashores for Tom Nook. The fact that Animal Crossing is so easy to play and doesn't have a story mode is its biggest strong suit, and that's what separates it from most other games. With its calming soundtrack and casual gameplay, there's no questioning why this series has lived in fans' hearts for the past 19 years. During the development of Dobutsu no Mori, aka Animal Forest, the N64 disk drive was heavily in mind. The original N64 cartridge featured a standard 64MB floppy disk and a real-time battery-powered clock. After the disk drive was cancelled, the game was quickly moved on to a game pack cartridge. There was also a controller pack where the data would be saved. Dobutsu no Mori was the last game Nintendo developed for the N64 and was ported to the GameCube on April 14, 2001. Unlike the Japanese audience, North America did not get a version of Animal Crossing until September 16, 2002. The North American version underwent heavy translation, which didn't just translate text, but added new holidays and even changed Tom Nook from a tanuki to a raccoon. The game was also released in Australia on October 17, 2003, Europe on September 24, 2004, China on January 1, 2006, and an updated version was re-released in Japan on June 27, 2003. Although the original Animal Crossing didn't have nearly as many features as its New Horizons counterpart, it took what it did have and knew how to use it perfectly. In Animal Crossing, players were introduced to Tom Nook and had to pay off their massive debt by working hard in Tom Nook's shop, Nook Cranny. After a short while, the player is laid off and has to find work elsewhere by fishing, bug catching, fruit picking, and much more. This simplicity is exactly what makes this game so memorable and still played to this day. Although the player needs to get themselves out of debt, there is no set time limit and no interest rate, so in reality, they completely don't have to. Instead of selling your fish, bugs, and fossils to Nook, you can actually donate them to the local museum, which is run by Blathers, the owl who has temporarily suspended his studies to work back in the town. The museum accepts the previously mentioned bugs, fish, and fossils, as well as paintings sold at random times of the year by Red, a traveling merchant. If the player donates all the fish and bugs in the game, or at the very least catches one of each of them, they will receive a golden tool for their respective activity from the mayor, Tortimer. This completionist aspect gave a purpose to collecting everything in the game, as the player would be rewarded for their efforts. Collectibles aren't the only fun thing to do in this game though. Throughout the year, the player may encounter random events like a traveling fortune teller, the previously mentioned Red, and even a fashion model named Gracie, who owns one of only 3 automobiles in the entire series, excluding the RVs from New Leaf and the HHA vehicles. There are also holiday events hosted by Tortimer in the plaza, and sometimes holiday special NPCs will show up. And there's way more that can't even fit into this video, like the fishing tourney, the bug off, the turnip stock market, and the Tom Nook lottery, all of which deserve a video in their own right. The amount of features in this title are almost limitless, so instead of focusing on everything in the game, why not just focus on what's unique to the game? The original Animal Crossing is praised for its unique features and is often considered the best game because of them. So what are these features, and why are they so special? Well, without a doubt the most well-known feature is the NES game library that the player can obtain. There are up to 19 individual titles. The first 8 can be obtained from the lottery, read, or buried somewhere on the island. These being Balloon Fight, Clu Clu Land, Donkey Kong Jr. Math, Excite Bike, Golf, and Pinball. The next 2, Mario's Woods and Baseball, can be found on Animal Island, while Soccer, Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong 3, Clu Clu Land D, and Punch-Out! Were given out in giveaways. All of the previously mentioned, excluding Clu Clu Land D, could be obtained via the Tom Nook cheat code system, a system allowing players to input codes for free furniture and bells. The final 4 NES games are virtually impossible to obtain. The first 2, Mario and Icebreakers, can only be obtained with an e-reader card, while Super Mario Bros. Was a Japan-exclusive giveaway, meaning North Americans will need a cheating device to obtain it, as well as the long-sought-after Legend of Zelda. There are also less predominant features like golden trees that you can get from planting a shovel in the glowing spot, working shifts at the lighthouse, playing Nook's lottery, the dump, and washing Gracie's car. How fun. Animal Crossing has surprisingly kept the same composer throughout the entire series, the legendary Kazumi Totaka, composer of the 19-note melody Totaka's Song, appearing in such titles as Yoshi's Story, Link's Awakening, and Luigi's Mansion. Going back to Animal Crossing, the game features 55 songs sung by KK Slider, a traveling musician who is very similar to Kazumi himself. The player can collect every one of these songs, ranging from jazz, in KK Jazz, to country, in KK Country, to Spanish, in Señor KK. Alongside the massively popular KK Slider songs, I found that there were 38 different non-KK songs, give or take. The game goes so in-depth to play a completely different song for every hour, and custom music for non-residential buildings, such as Tom Nook's shop and the post office, while residential buildings play KK Slider music. This puts Animal Crossing among Nintendo's largest soundtracks, with well over 93 unique songs. The original Animal Crossing game features many glitches, cheats, and Easter eggs, with some being a lot more helpful than others. Some of the most notable ones are the Money Rock, the Snowball Ocean glitch, the Item Duplication glitch, the Gyroid Face, the Beta Map Warp, and the ability to break into Tom Nook's shop. The Money Rock is a random rock appearing once per day in every version of Animal Crossing that can be hit 8 times, containing up to 13,300 bells in the original. On top of this, in Dobutsu no Mori E+, the rock has a chance of cracking and opening the entrance to the Reset Center, where the player can find Mr. Resetti if they've already reset 2 times, or Don Resetti if they've already met him. The snowball glitch could be performed by a player lining themselves up with one of the randomly spawning snowballs during the winter holiday. You would then place a piece of furniture between yourself and the snowball, and upon picking it up, you would be pushed into the ocean. This glitch allowed players to access the tropical island without the use of a Game Boy Advance. The player can also use the island bungalow as extra storage for extra furniture. A more useful glitch is the Item Duplication glitch, which requires a lot of steps and can be seen in A+ Start's Day 3 of 12 Days of Glitchmas. He also gives an in-depth guide on how to do the snowball glitch, so if you would like to see either of those, go over to his channel and tell him that I sent you. Another useful feature is the previously mentioned Tom Nook cheat system, which allowed the player to input codes found in gaming magazines, giving players the ability to acquire nearly any item in the game. Of course you could get the cheat codes off the internet, but back in 2001 that's a lot easier said than done. Something else that is a lot easier said than done is the Gyroid Face glitch, which would be achieved by traveling to another player's town and pressing the reset button. This turns your player into a gyroid. Upon saving and quitting, the original face will return. But the gyroid face glitch isn't the only unsettling thing in the game. The player can actually glitch their way back into the original beta map by making the player enter the dance phase at the same time as a cutscene. The easiest way, and only way by my knowledge, to accomplish this is by paying off your debt at 2:59 PM on the day of the sports festival. This will cause the player to glitch into the original testing map for the game, where all kinds of unsettling secrets can be found. There are also a lot of other beta elements not found in this map but found in the game files, such as Chestnut, the blue fish, glowing yellow boxes, paper airplanes, a sickle, and 2 unknown dummy files. And while on the subject of items that were never added into the game, exclusively in Dobutsu no Mari E+, players had the ability to break into Tom Nook's store by hitting the door with a shovel 3 times. All items purchased will be 20% more, and all items sold back to Tom Nook will be valued at 30% less. There are a lot more glitches, secrets, and Dobutsu no Mori E+ exclusive features that could fill an entire video on its own, and if you're interested in learning more about the subject, go watch Wilbo's World and Starlight Glitch's video on 9 Dobutsu no Mori E+ features that never left Japan, or L Supersonic Q and Chugga Conroy's video on everything you never knew about Animal Crossing on the GameCube. Animal Crossing has become one of Nintendo's flagship titles, ranking it as their 7th best-selling franchise, with 5 main series games, 3 spin-off titles, and even bonus mini-games. Nintendo also produces Animal Crossing-themed amiibos, figurines, plushies, collector's cards, and much more. Animal Crossing's simplistic charm and calming nature is not found in many other Nintendo titles, making this a key factor as to why it is so popular. The Animal Crossing series also isn't afraid to try new things, for the better or for the worse. New concepts like crafting and public work projects allow players to feel a new sense of adventure in every title, while at the same time keeping classic KK Slider music and old NPCs. Each new game finds a way to balance the incorporation of old characters alongside the introduction of new ones, such as Celeste in Wild World or Isabelle in New Leaf. This perfect blend of old and new features helps to make every game feel almost interconnected, unlike any other of its kind, making Animal Crossing a truly unique series. The ability to improve the series while keeping its original roots through its music and culture is why this game is still widely played to this day. Hey guys, it's Denby here. I'm in the end card. Hello. This is not scripted or anything. I'm just talking into the mic. I'm spitballing here. I hope you all enjoyed this one. This is the first episode of Delve Deeper. We have 9 more episodes to go. Yeah, tell me how you liked it. And normally I don't say this, but if you want more, subscribe, because that's the only way we're gonna fund this series. And the more viewers we get, the more funding we get, and the more funding we get means the more people we can have helping to produce this show. Currently we only have 1.5 workers, really, but more income means more employees, meaning more content for you guys. I hope you all enjoyed. This has been Denby from the Diamond Eyeball channel, and goodbye.